Hola a todos, soy Mike. En esta serie de videos vamos a aprender jerga colombiana. Hi everybody, this is Mike. In this series of videos, we're gonna learn Colombian slang. First, I want to let you know that in the description of the video, you will find a menu in which you can skip parts of this video because this series of videos are basically explanations on Colombian slang, Colombian expressions, and how to use them. And in the first part of the video is basically the same for each video. I'm going to give an explanation, blah, blah, blah. And then you can skip, if you check the menu, you can skip all these explanations and go straight to the part in which I explain the expression, the word, the idiom for the video in particular. So now that you know, check the menu. If you already understood or if you already watched previous videos in which I give this explanation, then you can skip this part. When it comes to Spanish, we can think about two big differences: the Spanish from Spain and the Spanish from Latin America. It's pretty much like thinking about differences between British and American English. It's basically the same. Pronunciation, some words, some idioms, but that's it. And in Latin America, you will find also differences because of the countries, the regions. Let's say there are expressions or idioms that are used in Mexico that might sound different in Colombia, or words that may mean something in Colombia and perhaps in Argentina are different. So that's basically the thing. But overall, the Spanish in Latin America, it's pretty much the same. And maybe you have noticed this when you go in let's say in the platforms Netflix, Amazon's, and HBO, and so if you want to choose the language, the spoken language, it says Spanish and Latin American Spanish, which is basically the same. And usually those are translations made, I think, both in Argentina and Mexico. That's it. So I'm from Colombia. I live in Colombia, and the things that I'm going to teach you are basically words, idioms, expressions, slang that is used here in Colombia. You might hear those words, idioms, slangs, and stuff in different countries. I'm not going to say all of them are exclusive for Colombia, but it's for sure that if you come here to Colombia, you're going to listen those words, expressions, and this is going to help you in order to understand what you're listening to, what you're hearing, and also if you want to sound more natural, you can also start learning how to use those. As a piece of advice, if you're planning on going and moving to a country in which Spanish is spoken, the idea is for you to make sure the Spanish that you're going to learn is basically adapted to the place you're living. So let's say if you're learning Spanish from Spain and you want to go and move to Mexico, well, it's gonna help. But then you're going to go again and start learning some things about maybe pronunciation. Pronunciation might make a difference, but also the words and stuff. So if you're planning on moving to Europe, focus on Spanish from Spain. If you're planning on moving to Latin America, any country in Latin America, then go for Latin American Spanish. And once again, in this video, in this series of videos, I'm going to teach you how to talk, how to understand Colombian Spanish. So I think that's going to be it for the explanation. So let's start with today's word, sentence, phrases, idioms, slang. The slang Cayetano or Cayellas, Cayetano, it's that we can find that as a last name, a surname for people, Cayetano, or a name, Cayetano. That's a name also. The word Cayetano is something that we use here in Colombia to ask somebody to stay quiet about something. Do not say anything. Do not tell anyone anything. So let's say, you know what? I found a wallet with filled with money. but please be quiet about this. Don't tell anyone. Encontré una billetera. I found a wallet. Pero no le digas a nadie. Pero Cayetano. Cayetano means do not say anything. Do not tell anything to anyone. And if I say Cayellas means be quiet. Cayellas. Cayellas que, let's say, be quiet. This guy is coming. Cayellas. Este tipo se acerca. This guy is coming. The guy is coming. Este tipo se acerca. Cayellas. Be quiet. So, Cayellas, be quiet. Cayetano, be quiet. A slang that we use here in Colombia can be also named Cayetano Garces, like that's his last name, Cayetano Garces. Interesting word. So let's talk about this with my friend David. Seguimos en compañía de David, a.k.a. El Pollo Sarmiento, y estamos haciendo toda una serie de charlas con respecto a la jerga colombiana. Cayetano, Cayetano. La palabra Cayetano, ¿la has escuchado dentro de tu entorno normal, coloquial? ¿Se usa de tu entorno? ¿Lo
No,
entiendes?
no. De hecho, yo creo que al igual que el catre, es una palabra bastante vieja que yo nunca la había escuchado.
Tiende a
Hasta
ser
hace poco,
anacrónica.
hasta hace poco que tocamos el tema y que me explicaste de dónde veía. Básicamente el Cayetano es como calladito, en silencio. Se puede utilizar en contexto, o el Cayellas.
Cayellas. Ese Cayellas
Cayellas.
lo había escuchado.
No, 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 no,
Es
nunca,
curioso porque
nunca.
aquí hubo una época en la que decía sisas, pero Cayellas.
Sí, 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 sí.
Y lo decían mucho. Sisas, como decir sí, pero ea. Sí, pero
Pero vea,
no diga nada.
o
Sisas, pero
cuando de
Cayellas.
pronto vos veías una situación, estabas con alguien y alguien te contaba sobre una situación, ve,
Sí,
pero
pero mira,
Cayetano, ¿qué?
Cayetano,
Cayetano, pilas con eso, tin, como más que todo cuando son situaciones muy delicadas.
claro. David, yo,
Cuando,
yo me preguntaba algo. Se ha dado en nuestras charlas, nos hemos dado cuenta que hay algunos términos que me dices, ve, yo no los había escuchado, o de pronto yo no los tenía claros dentro de un concepto. ¿Qué te has puesto a pensar qué ha sucedido cuando de pronto has tenido una conversación y han traído estos términos, aparecen? De pronto se da muchas veces cuando nosotros hablamos mucho y tenemos una diferencia generacional. De nuevo, yo tengo 30 años más que vos y en ciertas ocasiones utilizo términos que son anacrónicos, que son términos, palabras que yo de pronto que eran usadas en mi momento. ¿Cuál es te has puesto a pensar cuál es el proceso que sucede en tu mente cuando escuchas esas palabras? ¿Simplemente las ignoras o tratas de entenderlas en contexto o preguntas, ve, ¿eso qué significa? ¿Cuál es
sí,
el proceso?
o sea, es curioso porque mira que con todas estas expresiones idiomáticas, normalmente son términos que tienen un significado muy literal. ¿Sí? Entonces, por ejemplo, lo que hablábamos por decirlo así,
De
me
quicio.
sacó de quicio. El quicio, entonces yo ya entiendo que es el marco de la puerta.
Sí,
Entonces, sacar de quicio es desencajar la puerta, entonces está como fuera de base.
sacar
Y
de
eso se
balance. Ujú.
refiere, eso uno lo utiliza para decir que es que me hizo enojar o me hizo reaccionar de una manera en la que yo habitualmente no reacciono. Entonces, a eso se refiere. A ver, yo escucho la palabra Cayellas o Cayetano, es una forma de decir callado,
Ajá. O sea,
por
hay cierta
decirlo así.
conexión
Exacto,
y
exacto. Es
obviamente el
una forma
contexto ayuda.
más underground o más de barrio de decir listo. Calladito porque, o
Callado,
toca,
sí.
vea, callellas porque, vea,
Muy de
callado,
barrio, sí.
callado, de hacer silencio, de cuando estás frente a una situación o cuando ves algo que realmente no se puede exponer o algo y te dicen, vea, calladito porque eso puede generar un problema o algo. Yo lo he escuchado en términos de situaciones delicadas.
David, ¿sabías que Cayetano es el nombre de una persona?
No,
Es un
no.
nombre, Cayetano. Entonces ahí te dejo para que callellas con ese asunto. David, gracias por acompañarnos, manito.
Hermanito,
Nos estamos
gracias.
hablando. Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you. Luckily, it's going to help you in order to know more about the culture, the words. Remember, practice makes perfect, but also perfect feels good. So don't worry about getting too perfect, but practice it enough in order to acquire the skills. In order for you to, whenever you listen to somebody speaking and maybe saying this slang, this word, or whatever idiom expressions, you're gonna know what's that about. So I hope you like this video. If you like the video, you know what to do. Please share with your friends in your groups and social media. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. That's going to help us grow. And also, it's going to let you participate in the chat in the during the live streaming classes. Only subscribers can participate in the chat. So you can ask questions, blah, blah, blah. So, and also, you're going to be updated about the new videos that I'm posting every week. I really enjoy this process. I really enjoy this process, and I really appreciate your support. And that's the reason why we also created the membership program. We have 3 membership levels available for you. You can check that further for further information if you want to go further. But don't worry. I really love this process. I enjoy this process of sharing knowledge and the things that I know that might be useful for you in your learning process. So hopefully I'm going to see you in further videos. Keep on studying, keep on learning, and nos vemos pronto. Sigan aprendiendo, sigan estudiando y sigan adelante. Bye bye.